afternoon, everyone. Very good afternoon from London, Ontario. My name is Mazi, and I'm here with my best friend Valen.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, everyone. We would like to find out where you're actually dialing in from or calling in from. So if you don't mind in the chat, just simply type in the city and the university that you're in, so we're gonna get a sense of where you are, and we'll kickstart this little gathering that we have about 2025 Innovation North Systems Innovation Challenge. So if you can in the chat, just type in where you're from. Oh, some people are doing it. Oh, chat is disabled for us. All right, anonymous attendee, thank you for letting us know that. Okay. We'll deal with this. Let's go. Valen, I am going to start the presentation. Sounds good?
Okay, sounds good. Let's get going.
All right. Oh, some smart person has discovered that you can actually put it in a Q&A. University of Ottawa. Nice. Thank you. Thank you. So maybe that is one way we can actually figure out where people are. Friends, this is going to be a very, very short gathering, and our intention is just very quickly give you a brief introduction of who we are, what Innovation North is, how we're related to the university, what we do, why we think you should sign up for this challenge. So we're going to share that with you, and then if time allows at the end, give you a bit of time for Q&A, and of course, help you if you have other questions, how to get in touch with us so we can field those questions for you as well. I see it's coming up. People are coming from Western University. That sounds familiar to me. All right. Good to see you. Thank you for doing this. Keep it coming in and let us know where you're from. As I mentioned earlier, my name is Mazi. I am an assistant professor at the Ivey Business School. I work in the strategy area group, and I also work very closely with a few of my colleagues at Innovation North at the Ivey Business School. And Valen is, as I mentioned, she's my buddy, she's my best friend. We work together. Valen, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, everybody. My name is Valen Boyd. I'm a lecturer and a PhD candidate at Ivey, and I'm also a researcher at Innovation North.
Beautiful. Valen, what is Innovation North?
So Innovation North is an initiative at Ivey, and what we're doing at Innovation North is we work with industry, executives, and students to tackle the world's most pressing challenges.
Love it. And we have been doing at least a part with the students for a number of years. Innovation North has been around for about, I think, 5 years. And since its early inceptions, we've been working with students. We have kind of been dealing with some messy, complex, critical system level problems for some time. The other day, Vela and I were trying to figure out how many. I think we've found some really serious numbers here. 15 big, like serious problems that we've been tackling with our students. We have trained and developed over 250 students who are neatly equipped with methodologies and resources required to tackle these problems. We've been doing this for some time. Last year, this Innovation North, the studio, had 185 students from all across Ontario. This year, we're going across Canada, but last year was all across Ontario, and from 9 different universities and many different programs. One thing you need to know is that not everyone was from business school. In fact, many successful candidates, many successful teams were multidisciplinary teams. We've had people from the medical school. We have physicians participating in this challenge, and that was a lot of fun. That's the main story here, is that we want to get a sense of why you should participate in this challenge. And I'm going to share a couple of points and then ask my friend Valen to fill in and some points as well. Hey, we want to do this because, genuinely speaking, we actually want to create a learning experience for everyone, not just only Ivey students, from all students across Ontario, because we think that the type of challenges that the world is facing requires an enriched and a different way of approaching them. And we've been developing this methodology. We've been developing the skills of helping students learn these methodologies. So that's what we're trying to do. We put this whole studio together to help train, develop students across Ontario as they, bite my tongue, across Canada to tackle some of these challenges. So it's more of a learning journey for anything else. You also get to collaborate and interact with people from different universities and different disciplines. Again, not everyone is in a business school. We do want people from many other disciplines involved: engineering, social sciences, mathematics, all that across. And essentially, you should sign up if you really have this deep curiosity and interest to learn something new. Violet, anything you would like to add here?
The only other thing I would add, Mazi, is one of the unique things about this experience and this challenge, and we'll speak to it more later, is that we are dealing with complex problems that are happening now. So not things like sometimes in educational settings, we're looking at past problems, we're looking at historical data. And here we really work on how do you tackle complex issues that are happening in the here and now. And one of the ways that we do that in stage 2 of the challenge, and we'll talk more about what stage 1 and stage 2 are later, but we're doing that in real time with our corporate partner, which this year is BMO. So I think that's going to be really, really exciting.
BMO is in Bank of Montreal. Yeah, that's super exciting. Yeah. The last reason that maybe you should consider signing up for the challenge is that there's a financial reward. With the teams who make it to the second stage, they will get to present their insights and their findings on the challenge to our corporate partner BMO, and the panel of judges will pick the winning team, and there's up to $15,000 in rewards that gets shared by the team members. So I hope that's not the main motivator, but for some people, that money can actually be quite useful. And we wanted to let you know that is the case. This challenge we see it a little different from case competition. I actually want to go through this a little bit more with the help of some of the people who were as part of the challenge last year. So in a second, I'm actually going to ask 3 people who were with us last year to share their stories and their experiences of why this challenge may be a little bit different from a typical case competition. But from my point of view, it's pretty much the intention is learning. The intention is mostly collaboration and not as much competition. So one of the really interesting things about this challenge is that you really get to share your insights, not just at the end of the journey, but during the journey with other teams. And then you realize when you're doing this, you actually dramatically improve your thinking about the challenge and you're thinking about tackling the challenge. So that's something that we are specifically focusing on. The other part is that you're not coming in just going through the challenge from the beginning to the end. We actually have designed learning sessions, these virtual learning sessions where we expect you to go through these. And in those sessions, we will help you figure out new skills for tackling these real-world complex challenges. Let me ask Hala, Camilla, and Ashwin, the 3 lovely people who were with us last year, to join us on this conversation, and maybe they can share their views about last year and just some highlights. Ashwin, we're going to start with you. Hi, Ashwin.
Hi, Mazi. Hello, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for this opportunity, Innovation North team. Very grateful to be here.
Ashwin, you are from York University, am I correct?
Yes, from Schulich School of Business, MBA, yes.
And you just recently graduated?
Oh, yes, graduated June. Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Ashwin, if there is like one memory that you have from last year that you think others should hear about that, what is it?
Perfect. Thank you so much for the question. So I'd love to answer this. I think the transferable skill set that I learned through that challenge is one thing that I've started to apply that on my work journey as well. Although I'm very recent in that, and a few thoughts that I would love to share if I have like 30 seconds. In my view, the systems thinking was more like a philosophy, a way of life, where it teaches you thinking methodology to approach complex problems. And as you had mentioned in one of those sessions, like the complex problems, irrespective of what the challenge is, but the approach or the methodology to tackle them is the same. So I think this challenge teaches us a lot into that direction. And 5 key highlights that I really loved about this is, one was the Zen way of thinking, like no player should win at the expense of the other. And second was the go slow approach, where you mentioned don't focus too much on the solution, but more on the problem, because we sometimes have a tendency to jump to the solution immediately. And third, you mentioned the beauty of this challenge, so different from the others, was the collaboration over competition. So because it's everyone's real world problem that we are facing. So that was the one. And as students, I think the other thing that we really reflected upon is the humility with which we need to approach, because this is a real world problem with a lot of people working on it, and there is no solution per se. There's no right, wrong answer. So it's unlikely we will within the time frame. So the approach with which we tackle this is phenomenal. And finally, I think embracing ambiguity, like zooming in and zooming out is one other philosophy that was taught during this course. And the importance of seeing the big picture and the actionable small steps that we can take today that can nudge the system in a positive direction. So these learnings have been so profoundly impacting me to a sense, I kind of see this as a lens of seeing different problems, and I'm immensely grateful for this opportunity and for this opportunity today to share these with the broader team.
And so Ashwin, just to be very clear, we haven't paid you to be here. This is not 100%. This is not a paid advertising for you to be here. Okay. We invited you and thankful for coming here. Thank you. That was lovely. And very insightful. I'm glad that those things stayed with you, because in all honesty, those are the main intentions of why we're doing this. Hala, I have a slightly different question for you. Suppose you are on a friendly dinner with someone, and you're from McMaster, am I correct? And they ask you, hey, what was this about? And should I sign up? What would you tell them?
I would say that it's to look at things very differently than what you are typically taught to look at them, no matter what your business degree is. Because my team, I didn't know who my team was when I joined, and I came from a business and humanities program. One came from an engineering program, one came from a computer science program, and we all had very different perspectives of what we were trying to build out from the beginning. And I think when I came out of the challenge and I had shared it with my friends, because they were like, where are you spending all your time? And why are you not responding to our messages? Because you're spending all this time reading such interesting articles. I was like, I feel like an expert on product returns, because when you start to approach something so differently, you get so ingrained in wanting to see it from so many different perspectives or aspects that I think, similar to what Ashwin was saying, you don't focus on just the solution. You don't wrap something up in a pretty nice bow and then hand it off to the person that you're presenting it to. You get to see how other maybe actors, even outside of the person that you're engaging with in the challenge, might contribute to certain things. You get to see how even our type of thinking at universities, the curriculum, they teach us how they teach us to look at certain issues and problems. So I feel like if you want to look at how I don't want to say change the world, but if you want to look at how things work and how you can make them I don't want to say make them, but try to engage with them to work better, to work in a way that is helpful to not just yourself, but to society, then this is the challenge for you.
What I love about what you're saying is, Hala, that you are pausing even on your word choices, making the world, solving all the world problems. That's a level of awareness that usually comes after dealing with a complex problem. It's the humility conversation that Ashwin brought up. It's exactly that. So I appreciate it. I'm going to ask you this question again. So would you tell your friend to sign up for this challenge?
Yes, and I did.
All right. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Hala. Camilo, your team did extremely well.
Thank you, Messi.
You may want to let people know how well you did.
No, well, thank you for having me again. And I think, well, as Hala was saying, systems thinking was new for me. So it was the first time that I actually just approached to the concept, and it was pretty much like, I don't know, spark something, just curiosity, and I start to learn and to just talk to people, and also research about the problem, but at the same time about the methodology, and try to just learn more and more. It was a nice rabbit hole that I went in, and definitely something that I continue to apply, because it changed your mindset and pretty much how you approach to any problem. You start seeing like things differently, because, well, yeah, now every time that I approach to a problem, I see it as, okay, how the system works, how if I pull this lever is going to impact maybe other things that are happening as well. Is maybe this the right approach or the ideal approach, or maybe it would be better to approach from another perspective, and how those two experiences or options would change the overall system. So I don't know. Right now I have included like more words and just a different way to explain situations as well to other people around me. That has been like really helpful for pretty much not just my work experience, but also my personal experience. It definitely changed your approach to problems.
I love that. I love that. Thank you, Camilo. Just for everyone's knowledge, your team made it to the very end, and you were the day that you were exactly the day that you were presenting with to the executives at the corporate partner. Last year, corporate partner was Walmart. This year is Bank of Montreal. When you were presenting to them, I was sitting beside them, and they were taking notes. They turned back to me and they said, "These people are thinking at the highest level of management that we've encountered." They said, they walked up to us and they said, "We had never seen people looking at our world with so much care." So that was something that even the management, the executives and the leaders very much appreciated. And it was as a result of a combination of your dedication and, of course, the way that you started approaching the problems. I'm going to ask one question of all three of you, which is as a lead into the next slide, and then Valen, hopefully you can take this on, is that was it manageable for you to be a full-time student and, of course, and also be part of this challenge? Anyone, any of you three want to take this on?
I can try. Oh, please go ahead, Hala.
Okay, thank you. So maybe this is personally, but I was working also part-time. I was working 2 part-time jobs while doing the challenge, and I was doing a full-term course load and while graduating. And I found, I'm not saying that was easy. I'm not saying that it didn't take time, but I think when you commit to it, I think you get energy out of the activities that are set up, and the way that I think both phases are set up for students to be able to engage with. Like, you're not just sitting on 5-hour webinars, just absorbing all this information being thrown at you. Like, every session you go into, you're talking to people, you're learning something. They're retainable, they're absorbable. It's not something that I would say I felt drained after participating in. And I think because of the collaborative component to it, that you feel like you you're talking to new people, and you're getting to know different people, and that is time and energy, but sometimes that also feeds energy back into you. So I feel like it is.
I appreciate that.
Camilo,
I know you also wanted to add something, so can you pin that? Maybe tail end of it, we have a little bit more time. I'll come back to you on that one, right? So I'm going to use this as an opportunity to get into the next slide, which essentially I want to share with you what we expect from you after you sign up and you get admitted into this journey, and what your commitments could be. So I'll share Valen, do you want to do the expectations or the commitments? Which one do you want to tackle?
Sure, I'll start here, Mazi, and you can jump in.
Yeah.
So we're not going to talk about the dates because all the dates for the challenge are on the website. But just a high level sort of the important information about when and where you will need to be if you take part in the challenge. So the challenge is organized in 2 phases. Phase 1, which we call the nurture phase, And then there's a second phase, phase 2, which we call the navigate phase. So for phase 1, the nurture phase will happen in November. And you can expect to spend about 4 to 5 hours per week working on this phase. There's a series of workshops. They're all virtual. They're all held on Zoom, sort of like this. And we hope that all team members from all teams can participate in these workshops because they will help you if your team is selected to advance to phase 2, which Mazi, I'll turn it back to you to talk about the commitments for the navigate phase. Oh, and you're muted, Mazi. You knew.
I needed to do that because I missed the COVID years, obviously. I hear no laughter. That was intended for laughter. All right, let me share with you some of the commitments. So when you're signing up, we expect you to be involved in this whole thing. We expect you to be engaged. If you know anything about Ivey Business School, Ivey has a very interactive way of working for learning. So you're not just sitting back, and this is also what Hala said, you're not just sitting back and absorbing, you're actually interacting, working. So we want you to show up. We want you to be part of these virtual sessions. We want you to engage in these. What are some of the expectations from us? We expect you to be not just participating in and dialing into these virtual sessions, but being involved and engaged and talking with each other. So we have designed these sessions on that philosophy of actually interacting with you. There will be any recordings. So if you miss them, your teammates have to help you catch up with the conversation that happens over there, which means try to come up. We've scheduled these events at a time that it is very hospitable for across Canada set of participants. So from any province you're in, from any time zone that you're in, hopefully that will be useful for you to get there. If your team makes it to the second stage, details of that are available on the website of, essentially what happens. If your team makes it to the second stage, the expectations change a little bit and the commitment also changes a little bit. We actually want you to be, we want you to commit to being present in Toronto on a specific date, that's January 18th. Details are provided. There will be travel bursaries for people we will, help you fly to Toronto, be with us. It's a whole in-person day with BMO. In addition to that, we expect you need to commit to being involved with all the conversations that we're going to have with BMO BMO executives, their leaders. And of course, all your team members need to be present for the final day presentations to the BMO executives. That the date of which is available on the website. So these are essentially the commitments and expectations we want that hopefully will help you make your decision and hopefully will convince you in showing up. We have a little bit of time, so maybe we can actually address some of the Q&As. Remember that the application, we're closing the applications on October 11th, midnight Ontario time, midnight Eastern time. And shortly after that, your team will be notified of the status of your application. The application process is pretty easy. It's a lot of information about you. And then a mini challenge, we want to get a sense of like how your team is already thinking about complexity. It's not a test. It's a way for us to gauge how you're working as a team. Let us answer some questions if there are. And actually, before we do that, I had promised Camilo to come back. He has a point to share with us. Camilo, can you dial back in? What was the point that you wanted to share?
Something really quick, Mazi. So you can also leverage your team just to attend like the sessions and everything. Of course, it will be an ideal experience would be that all the team is in every session. In our case, also we have people that were working full time with a full course load and just different things that were happening at the same time. But I think a key is just that collaboration between the team, kind of brief the others while you're participating, and definitely that collaboration was key for the success of our team, at least. So that's maybe if you're just hesitant about the time commitment, it's something that you might consider. But again, if you're able to just attend all the sessions, definitely it's going to be a better learning experience for you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Camilo. Thank you very much. There's a question in the chat is that if you have any questions for the panelists, how they can reach you, send us an email. Send us an email with your question. We will gather the information we will gather the answers from the panelists and we can offer their answers to you. I did see another question around what percentage of participants would you estimate are not business students? I'd like to see high numbers. I'd like to see a large number of non-business students being involved. If your team is diverse, if you have a combination of business and non-business students, that's your advantage. So if you're a student in a program, say in social studies, or you're in philosophy, or you're in biology, try to assemble a team that it is diverse, people that you can work with. You know, like-minded people will often go down a singular path, but when you're diverse, you actually have great conversations. One of the things I want to mention is that you do not need to know anything about systems thinking for you to be successful in this challenge. You do not need to know anything about the topic of the challenge for you to be successful. It is a journey of learning, and we all will go through it together. Another question that they ask, can faculty members attend the virtual sessions? No, we are offering these virtual sessions for the students. Maybe in the future we will open them up for practitioners and for other academics, but this year is for students only. One thing that I do want to mention that we might have actually, it's available on the website, that it's good for me to bring it back up, is in stage 2, the teams who make it to the stage 2, you will actually get a mentor. You will get someone who has gone through this process before, someone who knows the chops, and knows about learning how to deal with complex problems. You'll be assigned a mentor, and then the mentor will guide you with your learning, guide you with your presentation, guide you with your project as well. So that's something that you have to keep in mind. The other questions that Valen, do you see any question that we think we want to tackle?
We have a couple questions about individuals that are looking for teams. Do you want to answer that, Mazi?
I would like to confer that with our team here, with Jessica and Hannah, figure out a response to that. To be very transparent with everyone, last year we did have a way for people who were not teams already to sign up as individuals. We paired them up. This year, our encouragement is for people to come up with a team, but you only need 3 if you want to sign up. So it won't be too difficult to convince 2 other people to join you, right? On what basis will be selected for stage 2? The selections are super easy. It is that how your presentation around how you're tackling the project, the challenge that we're going to give you in stage 1, it has insightful ideas. Your ideas are feasible. Your ideas are creative. Your ideas are sustainable. So we will give you these attributes of success during the virtual sessions. We will give you these attributes of success. So as long as you are offering your insights in your presentations with those qualities in mind, you'll make it to the second stage. The second stage does not have a limited number of people. I'm not saying that only 3 to make it to the second stage. The good teams will make it to the second stage, right? So that's something for you to keep in mind. We have 1 more minute. Valen, anything that you'd like to add?
I think, Mazi, just what can students do if they have more questions between now and the application deadline?
There is an email on our website. I will try to bring the email back up on the screen as well.
And Hannah just put it in the chat. So it's innovationnorthstudio@ivy.ca.
Send us an email and we'll respond to you. Any questions? No question is going to be disregarded. We thank you so very much for joining us this afternoon, this evening. We hope that this was useful. Get in touch and send your applications in early. Don't wait for the last minute. Camilo? Hala, Valen, and Ashwin, thank you so very much. Big hugs. If you were in person, I would have squeezed you, but imagine that virtually. Hannah and Jessica behind the scenes, you guys did a fabulous job. Thank
so
you,
much. All the best to
everyone.
you.
Have a great day.
You.